Oh, howdy y'all, grab yourself a drink, it is time for some PathOfExile discussion. Welcome to day 10 of spoiler season for patch 3.20 and the Forbidden Sanctum League. It is possible that this is going to be the first of two videos today, because GGG have said that they're not sure whether they're going to be able to get the 2020 gem information out today or not. If they get it out today, I'll cover it if I'm able, and if it's delayed till tomorrow, well, we're going to have a very busy day tomorrow, because at 8 in the morning my time, I'm going to be on Faded Connections podcast. Then after that, we're going to have the gems to go through, and we're going to have the new Atlas tree to go through. So there's going to be a whole lot of stuff to cover tomorrow. However, today's the calm before the storm, and today we got another Sanctified Relic. These are going to be one of the Sanctum exclusive rewards, and these are going to be Sanctum League exclusive. These will not be something you'll be able to carry back with you to standard. This seems to be a perfect one. This requires level 67 on it, which makes me think that it's going to have a drop level requirement of 84. And that's based on the formula that GGG used to assign minimum levels to items. And this looks like it's got some pretty impressive mods on it. So +1 maximum power charges for your character, 15% increased elusive effect for your character. Not much to say here beyond this item is ridiculous, and this item is probably going to be quite inaccessible to most players. Next is a little bit of a treasure trove of information that is a little easy to overlook. It looks like it's only there if you're someone who designs your own loot filter, but there is some genuine information in it. This is the item filter information, and it names all the items that are being added to the game. So we have all the skill gems, Frozen Legion, Volcanic Fissure, and then the 8 Val versions we know about already, 2 support gems, Hexbloom support and Cursed Ground support, and then all of the new divination cards. All we have on these is the names, with the exception of the Insane Cat, which we'll come back to lately, Divine Beauty, which we already know, that is a set of 12 cards for 7 Divine Orbs, and the Wedding Gift, which is a set of 2 cards for 1 copy of Arakali's Fang. It can be a bit of fun to speculate what these might be, and I'm going to speculate with no evidence that the Finishing Touch is one of the heist exclusive currencies, Tailoring Orb or Tempering Orb, but that is based entirely on the name alone, and we shall find out more over the next couple of days. Then there's stuff we already knew about, Fracturing Orbs and Shards, and the various relics that are being added to the game, which are Sanctum exclusive, and then there's the Pantheon reshuffle that happens every league now. Then after that we have the map tiers, so this is the base tiers all maps are in. Now, I'm not going to go through every single tier. I will put a link down in the description below if you want to have a look for where your favourite maps are. But just to say that there are some pretty good maps at all sorts of tiers. And something that's going to be really interesting is that Lava Lake is a tier 1 map. This map has a fairly hard boss, and it's going to be interesting to see people who have just done Kitava through the storyline, then fighting him again. The interesting thing, though, about Lava Lake Kitava is that he has miles lower hit points than the campaign version, and that's going to really stand out to people. People on low DPS characters that have a 5-minute slugfest against Kitava in Act 10 will find that they're pretty much instantly phasing him in Tier 1 maps because the hit points are something like 94% lower. In terms of little traps here, just be aware that Crimson Temple is a Tier 2 base map. Unless you have a multiple Voidstone version of this, 2, 3 or 4 Voidstones, you will not be able to get the Apothecary from it because the Apothecary is drop level restricted to 75+. This is also true in a slightly different form for Haunted Mansion, which is a Tier 6 map. This is widely believed to have the Apothecary because it has the blood_mage_boss tag on it. And that means people expect it can drop the Apothecary, but Tier 6 is low enough that you can only get it from the map boss and from rare monsters and other unique monsters like Rogue Exiles in the zone. You can't get it from trash monsters there or even magic monsters. For that reason, Tier 6 Haunted Mansion is also a very bad choice if you want to try and farm Apothecaries. You should be holding off on trying to farm the Apothecary until you've gotten yourself a couple of Voidstones. There's lots of good maps at various tiers. I want to point out that Toxic Sewer is a natural Tier 16 this league, and the natural Tier 15s are really, really good too. Finally, we got a Divination card that everyone probably saw coming. We had a Mageblood card, we had a 2 implicit Corrupted Mageblood card, and we now have the Insane Cat for a Corrupted Mageblood, a single corruption, item level 84. I speculate that this is not going to be worth farming, that you're going to want to farm the Apothecary instead. 2 reasons for this. Firstly, GGG tend to make divination cards that reward a corrupted version with 1 Val implicit of a unique, about 2.5 times as rare as the base version. Now that does assume that the sizes of the 2 sets are equal, which they usually aren't, but it should give you a bit of a ballpark figure that acquiring 9 copies of the Insane Cat through RNG is likely going to take about as long as getting 12 copies of the Apothecary. For that reason, I don't think you're going to want to farm this, but it's going to be something that will add a lot of value every time you open a stacked deck, or every time that you get a divination card altar that provides random jewelry divination cards. On top of this, turning in a set of the Insane Cat is mostly going to give you a worse reward than turning in a set of the Apothecary, and that's because Mageblood is a very Divine Orb sensitive item. The number of flasks that it affects is 2, 3 or 4 at random. For anyone that can afford a Mageblood normally, you would just always divine it to 4 because it's a trivial cost next to this belt. However, for the Insane Cat, you're not going to have the ability to divine it, same as with the Price of Devotion, which was added a league ago. And that means that if it ends up rolling 2 flasks, it's going to be semi-bricked. And if it rolls 3 flasks, it's going to be meaningfully worse. The only way that this is going to wind up better than turning in a set of the Apothecary is if you get a 4 flask roll and you end up hitting a premium corruption like increased item quantity. And that's a pretty rare outcome to see. Anyways, that is the news for day 10. It's a reasonably quiet one today, but we might have those gems. If we do get them, then I will definitely make a new video for them. May your Varlobs have interesting results, and don't be that insane cat that uses one on a 2 flask Mageblood.